Fellas, let's head on out here in the garage. Boy, I tell you, it's been a while since I've been out here working on any models or doing anything. I've been doing some yard work, and wife and I took a trip, and haven't been to any car shows because we've either been gone or the weather's been bad. So Ruby's kind of sitting idle right now. Thought I'd give you guys a little update on where I'm at on this 32 Ford Roadster I've been working on for my buddy. Before we get into that, while we were, wife and I were traveling, we went down to our son's house. He lives a little south of Nashville, Tennessee. And while we were down there, I picked this little 33 up down there at Hobby Lobby. We went to the Hobby Lobby that was down there, and I saw this, and boy, I just thought, wow, man, that just looks so cool. Whoops. So I had to get that to kind of add to my little Diecast collection, I guess. Look at that rear end right there. That's pretty cool looking. So I had to get that. All right, enough of that. Let me tell you, well, let's start off here. This is the 32 that I'm actually building for my buddy. He built his, he's got a 37 Ford humpback street rod that he drives, and they built a 32 over the winter and got it completed, and I told him that I'd build him a model of it, best I could anyway. But I originally had the new release, the Revell release, the Stacy David version with the Duval hood, but or windshield, but that just didn't work out because his has got the standard windshield. So I traded it off for this one, and that worked out pretty good. Everything was going fine. Had a friend of mine donate a 350 crate motor and a 350 turbo transmission. So that all worked out pretty good. And he also donated that steering wheel that matches my buddy's. But the big issue I had with this car was, daggone it, if you look at the door line here, and then I'll show you on this side here, the door line inside for the door panel, they were way off. I originally tried to build this per the instructions, and the instructions have you build the interior and then push it in from the bottom. But daggone it, that dash would not line up really well, and those door lines, they were just way off. So I pulled everything back apart. Then I tried installing the door panels on the door itself, and daggone it, just couldn't get the dash and everything to line up to my liking. So I got a little frustrated and put her down for a while, and when I got back on it, I pulled it apart. I took those door panels. They have a tab at the bottom that interlocks with the floor plate. I cut that off, and then there's a tab that locks onto the back of the seats right in this area. And I sanded that off as well. And then I just started whittling away and sanding to get it to fit best I could. And I got them pretty close. You can see the lines on the door and the door panels. They're pretty close. So I'm satisfied with it. I think it came out pretty good. I really like the steering wheel. It kind of matches the one that he's running. So that turned out pretty cool. Now this morning, I had the chore of, I've got to paint the inner portion here, that firewall. I've got to paint it a white, and I've got a, let me get over here a minute, fellas. I bought this at Hobby Lobby the other day. This is a oyster white, because that's about the color of his. So I'm going to mix up a little paint and mask this off and airbrush the inside of that firewall. Hopefully that'll come out okay, and then let it sit for a day or two, and then shoot a little dull coat over it. That's the way his is. I'm still working on the underside of the chassis here. I still need to get some tubes for the exhaust pipes to stick out the back, because his stick out a little bit further. So I've got to go to the hobby shop and get me a tube. Those daggone, right here, these are the stock pipes that come in the kit. I use those, and then from here up to the manifold, exhaust manifold on that 350, I had to make something, and I originally tried to make, well, this is what I originally made. This is out of solder. It's the right size diameter, and I couldn't get it to fit right, so I pinned the end here that mounts up to the exhaust pipe down below, but and then of course this side here, it matches up to the exhaust manifold, but I could not get that to glue in there. It would not stay. I really wanted to use these, but I just couldn't get them to work. So, and I couldn't really drill into that exhaust manifold and pin it like I did the other side of this, because I was afraid I'd bust that manifold off there. So anyway, I ended up I used some of this black wire, and I don't know, I guess it turned out okay. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm going to paint those just yet, or maybe just leave them as is. I don't know. Haven't decided just yet, but I'm getting there. I need to do a little touch up on that gas tank. I got the he's running coilovers on the back of his, so I made up some coilovers to put on there, and got this all looking pretty good. Still got here's some of the I got the windshield done, got the mirror on there, and he's running some mirrors. I'll show you here in just a second. There's the two spreader bars, and then he's got the Ooga horn that I've got to put on there just yet, and there's the headlights. I'm using these paper clips. This kit came, it has a radiator support rod, just one right in the middle. You can see there's a spot for it right there. But he's running two on his, so I've got the holes drilled there, and I've got it drilled in the radiator as well. You can see the two holes on either side of that green light, and I'll tell you what that green light is here in a minute. But I've got this all done and got the hose clamps on and everything, so it's ready to rock. Well, let's go over here and I'll show you about the. He's running some mirrors on the side of his windshield frame there, and I'll show you. Let's take a trip over here to the computer, fellas. All right. See the mirrors he's got on his? So I've got some mirrors, so I'm gonna have to try and drill into the side of that windshield frame and tag on some mirrors there, I guess. And this is the back of his car, and boy, I'll tell you, I'd really like to have a license plate that matches that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I've got a license plate that says Roadster on it, so I think that's what I'll probably end up going with. And that scroll work, that nice looking scroll work, he's got that kind of all around different places on the car. And I've got some of that, but it's in black and white, and I just don't think that'll work. It'll just blend right in with the black color. And, whoops. And I want to show you something here. Here's his firewall. You can see how his is kind of an off-white, so I'm going to try and emulate that. And he's got a decal there. Lucky lady. I'd sure like to have one of those put up there for him, but that ain't going to happen either. But that's kind of what his engine and everything looks like. I've still got to get the steering box and everything installed, but I'm getting there with it. I'd like to try and get this done within the next week or so, but I don't know. I've still got some things to do. I've got to get the rear lights on yet, which I've already got those made up. I've got them sitting over here. I had to touch them up with my Molotov pen the other day, and just letting those dry really good before I try and handle them and get them on here, because that's always the touchy situation for me, trying to put glue something onto a painted body. So that's going to be a chore. His body has got, if you look at this top body line here, all the way back, he's got a red pinstripe on his. And I found some pinstriping, some red. Of course, I won't be able to go around that curve there, but I can take it from all the way up front, back a pretty good ways. Might be able to use that, I figured. And then I found these as well. I could cut that one section off of it, but that might work out. And then here's that scroll work I was telling you about. See, it's a kind of a black and white, and I just think that'd blend in. And there's that Roadster plate that I plan on using. All right, fellas, I think that's about it. Just wanted to give you a little update on where I'm at on this 32 Roadster. I think everything's turning out pretty good. I'm hoping he's going to like this. Tried to get his wheels the best I could. That's those American Torque Thrust wheels. And his are all grayed out in the center. And then the center caps are chromed. All right, fellas, just wanted to give you a little update here. So I think I'm done. I'm out of here.